went to Queenstown, and we're not really adrenaline seekers, are we?
Well, you're not.
I'm not. Going downhill on a longboard is more than enough for me.
I'm a little bit.
Yeah, so Queenstown, for those of you that don't know, is very much about adrenaline kind of activities.
Yeah, you've got skydives, bungees, all sorts.
Loads of different things here. But we're doing something called Shotover Jet, and it's basically a jet boat that goes along the river, which leads into, is it Wakatipu? And it looks scary. It gets super close to the rocks. There's like a canyon that it runs through and all sorts. So we thought it was a good idea to do that, because I don't think skydiving is for us.
This was a good middle ground.
Because of what happened with the kayak, obviously we won't be taking this camera.
No, we will not be taking anything other than ourselves.
No, it does look quite quick, doesn't it?
We're sat waiting for the boat to come now.
Well, that was amazing. That was far better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it was. I didn't really know what to expect.
No.
But yeah, it was very good. And it was a lot longer than we thought.
Yeah, it was.
Because when we were watching them, they seemed to come and go really quickly. So we thought we'd be on the boat for like 10 minutes. But actually, there's 4 boats.
Yeah. It must have been close to half hour all in. But it was quite good because the driver, is it a driver of a boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, the driver stopped at a couple of places and told us a bit about the history of the actual, the river that we were going up and down. And we went up 7 kilometres. So that shows like how long we were on it. But then saying that, he said that they go up to about 90 kilometres per hour.
Yeah.
So you can cover obviously a lot of distance in that time. But he also said that at certain points, because the river's really shallow at places, we were going over 3 inches of water, which is ridiculous. Like,
and you could literally feel it like bouncing off the
You could feel all the pebbles, couldn't you? Going along. But we were lucky enough to have the front space as well. We were so close to, or you particularly, were so close to the rocks at times.
Yeah, so they'd obviously do it on purpose, but they like, where it's like the rocks either side, they like swerve towards them, so it literally feels like your head's gonna get like slammed into the rocks.
Yeah. It was literally like they were drifting a car, but in a boat. Really, really good, wasn't it?
Really fun.
Really good. So now we are on, well, we're already in Queenstown, but we're on to a campsite, aren't we, for a couple of nights. So hopefully we can explore a little bit of the city and see what it has to offer. So we've been a little bit slack with keeping you guys updated, but there is reason behind that. So let me find somewhere comfortable and I will tell you what's going on, and also why Amy isn't here next to me, because she's not feeling her best. I think this will probably do. We have made it to Lake Te Anu and got the whole thing to myself. So no one that way and no one that way. This is ridiculous. It's a little slice of heaven. So what's been going on? Basically, the last time you saw us was when we were doing the boat trip, which was amazing. It was really cool. After that, Amy started feeling a bit coldy and we thought maybe it's hay fever. Now, neither of us suffer with hay fever at all, never have done, but we did see that it was a very high pollen count for grass pollen. So we kind of put it down to that. And over the course of a couple of days, we bought all sorts of different hay fever treatments, antihistamines, nasal sprays, throat tablets, all sorts of things, and none of it really helped out. And Amy was coming out more and more, or with more and more of a cold, so we think that she's come out with quite a bad cold. So the last couple of days we actually spent in Queenstown. We did get out and about a little bit. First thing we done was we went to a place called Fergburger. Now, we hadn't really heard of it before. Amy got recommended it by one of her friends that actually lives over here and said it's really good. It is like the place to go. We got there and it was literally like half an hour queuing, but it was an amazing burger, probably the best burger I've ever had. Unfortunately, Amy couldn't taste it, but I think she still enjoyed the texture. After that, we then took a gondola up to the top of a mountain, which overlooked kind of all of Queenstown. You could see all of Lake Wakatipu, which is, again, insane. It's 50 miles long, and I think it goes down to about 380 meters in depth. So it's a ridiculous lake surrounded by mountains that go over 2,000 meters high. Although we didn't get to explore Queenstown properly, we still managed to do a few things, even though Amy was feeling a bit poorly. And then we've moved on to where we are today, which is Lake Tia Anu. This is more of a stopgap. She's still feeling a bit rough, which is why I've come out myself, but she's over the worst of it, I think. And then tomorrow is our next kind of activity, which is a boat trip in somewhere called Milford Sound, which again looks incredible. It's a really remote location. From here until Milford Sound, there's pretty much no phone signal. It's that remote. She's alive.
Thanks.
And there is your food.
Thanks.
Well, we made quite good progress today, didn't we? Heading towards where we need to be for our boat towards tomorrow. I think, is it about an hour out still?
Yeah.
It's literally in the middle of nowhere. I feel like it's been an hour away for about 4 hours of driving. But yeah, we're getting closer and all parked up for the night, aren't we? You've got a cider, so you're feeling a little bit better.
A little bit.
Doesn't take much, does it? But as park ups go, look at that. Got a full mountain range in front of us. There's one other campervan here, and that's it. And it's what, $30 for the night?
Yeah, which is about
15 quid.
Yeah.
So yeah, so literally half of everything. 15 quid for the night.
We're in a place that is quite strict. It says no freedom camping. But instead of saying you can't park anywhere and you can't even be here, they instead give you sites that to go on. And yeah, you do have to pay for them, but again, it's a specific area because we're in a national park as well. So, but yeah, they provide, like, up and down this road, there's probably about 10 sites.
Yeah, there's loads
like
of
this.
them. They're obviously not campsites because there is next to no facilities, but
It's somewhere to
it's
go.
somewhere you can park,
Yeah.
so you don't have to drive literally 3 hours along this one road to actually get to the place you need to get to. And it works really well. People use them, people pay. It's okay to sit out and to have dinner and things like that and cook outside. You blew away. The Milford Road is apparently one of the most scenic roads in the world, and it's because there's mountains everywhere, isn't there? And they are huge as well.
Yeah, and
Like-
covered in trees.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like, in front of us, we've got mountains there. But the nice thing about here as well is that along the road, there's loads of little walks, isn't there? That we done a couple yesterday. They're between 1 kilometre and 1.5 and things like that. So they're really good little stop-offs that you can just do a quick walk and just carry on along the way. But we just stopped off here to do a walk called Lake Gun, is it? Which takes us through like tropically forests out to a lake. But there's a little river running through here as well. And it's so clear. Like, all the water here is like bright blue, clear, and just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
One thing we have noticed since we've been here is a lot of the New Zealand stuff has a fern leaf like pictured on it. And yeah, we can see why now since we've been doing all these little walks in the forest. These ferns are literally everywhere. They just carpet the whole forest. Some of them are huge, like palm tree style ferns, and there's all sorts. And yeah, you just said, didn't you, that it's really cool how mossy everything is as well?
Yeah, everything's just green.
Yeah. There's some massive trees in here, and then yeah, they're just all covered with moss. It's like a little tropical paradise. Wow. That's not bad. God, it's so windy. Hopefully our boat isn't cancelled again. That was a good little walk, wasn't it? So now we are carrying on along the Milford Road, but first, an ice cold vanille. Oh.
You need to stop calling it vanilla.
Yeah, it's vanille in French, I think, in France. But again, they sell it here. They sell 440ml cans as well. It's amazing. This is ridiculous. So there's a mountain in front of us, which is 2,600 meters. And then there's more mountains behind, which are covered in snow and all sorts. It's super windy out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's probably worth hiding
the
back
wind
in
is
the van.
cold.
Amazing, well worth a quick stop. We made it, eventually. Yeah. And the internet wasn't lying when it said about it being an amazing drive, was it? It was ridiculous. Like, mountains everywhere, but huge as well. So yeah, we're just making our way to the boat now. I think we can already see what the hype's about. Now the guy did say that moody weather's actually alright, because we were saying it's nice that it's not raining. But he said sometimes the rain adds to it because it does create more waterfalls and things like that. But I mean, moody's good too, right? That is insane. We don't know what sort of boat we've got yet because there's been quite a mix, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's a massive one over there, but then there's also like a little, I don't know, lifeboat sort of thing. So we don't know what we're on. We've got our ticket and we're going soon, so it's going to be good. Well, that was a pretty good trip, wasn't it?
It was very good.
The mountains were amazing. I think, did he say the smallest peak was about 1,700 metres or something? Yeah, that was the little one, he called it, the captain. But we were quite lucky, weren't we?
We were. So we saw dolphins.
We did, and they were amazing.
Apparently, they're only seen a few days a month.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, really lucky. Well, we saw them on 2 different occasions as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
And they were in quite a big pod as well. I think probably there must have been about 10 or 12. And they were all going over like, yeah, Dolphins do, I guess. But yeah, it was really cool. We saw some seals as well. They were all on Seal Rock, aren't they, where they were like all the seal pups just sleeping. But I mean, you can see it behind us. It's just ridiculous. The drive back is going to be just as good as well. We do have a little way to drive, and the next few days are quite driving intensive, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like a few hours a day, so we should cover some distance, but we should see some awesome things along the way as well, which would be really cool. So should we make tracks?